But I want to ask if anybody here has recently tried to unlock an AT&T phone that's clean, clear, paid off, and if they're having issues. It seems like AT&T's servers are actually down. Obviously,
I just did one yesterday. I had no issues
no
on an
issue.
iPhone 6S. Yeah, and
Interesting.
I was gonna do I was looking at buying a mail-in off eBay, and I was thinking of running a VPN before I tried it, and I didn't end up purchasing it. But
Hmm.
yeah, I
So that's
you know
really interesting.
one one thing I've noticed is rotating emails really helps. But I mean, I'm sure you knew that. Um,
Yeah, I usually don't use the same email. Well, and this time I definitely used a different email, but I've unlocked, countless amounts of AT&T phones that I bought from people that ended up being paid off. And what I'm trying to do now is I have two iPhone XSs that are my personal devices, like they're mine that I use personally. So obviously they're paid off. I bought them brand new from Best Buy, and for some reason it's giving me an error when I'm trying to unlock them. And I've submitted multiple requests to customer support. I spent like an hour the other day live chatting with two different agents. They said that they would put in a case, they would personally look into this for me. And then it's like after it gets to that point and they say they're going to email me and this and that, etc., nothing happens. It's like it goes into the Bermuda Triangle. For anybody that's heard of that phrase, it's basically an area in the world that everything just disappears. Literally, once I get done with the live chat, I don't get any email from them or anything. And the only thing that I noticed that was odd is I noticed that they did have an email on file for me that basically it was misspelt. They forgot the S in my name. However, when I talked to live chat, I got all of that switched around. So all the emails should be going to the right place. And like I said, oddly enough, not getting anything back from them. It's like it's completely locked up, which makes absolutely no sense. And then on top of that, they they basically, like I said, they don't even send anything afterwards. So it doesn't really make any sense. And the one thing that I did find odd, I was looking over, just kind of a heads up, I guess. I want to talk about this because I don't want it to happen to anybody else. But I was at Best Buy and I was looking over the lady's shoulder that was like reviewing my AT&T account and everything. And for some reason, when Best Buy was trying to figure out why they couldn't unlock my phones, my account was set to a reseller instead of an individual or a regular client. So I never suggested that. I never asked for that. So I don't know if I've unlocked so many phones that my name has been flagged in their system that I'm a reseller. That really shouldn't make any difference because I'm unlocking phones that are paid for. But I just kind of wanted to give you guys a heads up, I guess. If you're unlocking AT&T phones, I guess basically every time you unlock one, I would just put in a fake name and probably put in like an email that you don't really use that often, or maybe make a new one every few times you unlock like 5 or 10 different devices, because I've unlocked so many and I always use a different email or kind of bounce emails off, but I always put my first and last name in, and obviously there's not very many Luke Deutschlanders out there in the world. And yeah, just can't even unlock them or anything. It's really interesting. So
Yeah, I stopped doing my name quite a while ago, and you don't actually have to put in a phone number either. I don't know if you knew that or not, but they ask for your phone number, and if you don't put anything, it doesn't yell at you or nothing. It just goes right through.
yep, that's pretty much what I've noticed. Like right now, I'm doing it again, and I'm trying to just put my first name. I just put Luke, and then just put my last name. I just put D, and then my phone number. I just completely left blank, and we'll see what it does. So
Have you tried any like any of the unlocking services that where they do like the clean unlocks for you, and if it doesn't work, they tell you why it didn't work? You could try one of those.
no, I have not tried that. Yeah. So here's what's interesting is I basically am doing it right now. I just submitted it, and the error it says is looks like the device you want to unlock is active on another AT&T account. The owner has to remove it from their account first. Did we get that wrong? If you're the owner, call. And I've called it a million times. I've bought these phones outright. Like I'm sitting right here with the receipt from Best Buy. So, but yeah,
But
I don't know.
I know you can't get that. I want to say it's $15 That's able to be unlocked. I'm pretty like I'm willing to bet on it.
Well, it's
I mean, you
supposed to
shouldn't
be.
have to pay for it, but
Well,
I'm just saying,
exactly.
like,
I've never had this problem before. So I just
yeah,
kind of want to advise everyone what I think happened. And I guess I want to just advise everyone on this because this is my personal experience. So when I bought these two iPhone XSs, everybody, I purchased them from Best Buy. And the lady who set them up messed up the phones. What she did is we were doing number transfers, and she assigned my phone number to the wrong phone. And basically, I just remember this was like a year ago when I got these. I got these like right when they came out. And she said something like, oh, well, we could just swap the IMEIs, or we could do something that way your number goes back to the right phone, because I bought my girlfriend at the time a 64 gigabyte, and then I had a 256 gigabyte for all the videos, photos, and stuff that I post. And she messed something up, and when I talked to AT&T, they said something was messed up with the activation, and the IMEI keeps giving them an error on their end, and that I needed to go back to Best Buy and fix it. Of course, I went back to Best Buy. Nothing ever happened. So my advice is, when you guys buy new phones, if you're going to buy brand new, I wouldn't advise going to a third-party carrier store like Best Buy. Just go directly to the carrier if you are going to buy brand new. I know a lot of you are probably wondering, like, why would I buy a brand new phone when we come with cheap phones? You know, we come across cheap phones all the time. Well, the biggest thing is I don't want my business phone getting blacklisted because I use it for so many things, and having my phone blacklisted for a day or two with my phone number that I use for everything would be it would just be a nightmare. So especially with me in and out of my office all day responding to people. So that's why I bought brand new. Just wanted a warranty, didn't want any issues, didn't want any possible chance of insurance fraud or somebody blacklisting it. So
with active on another account, I'm pretty sure what that like when that normally pops up is it means the person just got done paying off their device. Because I've had it
interesting.
twice. I've had it twice, and both times I met the person at AT&T, and they went inside and finished paying off their bill, and they like actually were able to give me a copy of the paper saying that the phone was paid off, and I figured, oh cool, I'll just go to the portal and I'll be good. But it hit me with that active on another account, and I want to say it took almost a month for that to come off, but it does mean the phone's paid for. I'm pretty positive.
Yeah,
But
it's interesting because the only other thing I'm thinking is I did do the buy one get one program. However, this phone, the 256 gigabyte one, which is mine, this has been paid off for months. I mean, probably 6 to 8 months, and then I only kept the phone on AT&T because I wanted to keep getting the other phone like the free bill credits, because it was basically getting the phone for free. But then I ended up paying that one off too, and it's the same thing. So I don't know, but just kind
yeah,
of wanted to give everybody a heads up to be careful about that stuff. What I wanted to talk about tonight in tonight's group chat is, besides the whole unlocking mess, and to kind of be careful of that, everybody, is I want to review everybody's Facebook Marketplace ads. I want to do some ad review. If you guys are down to do that, who wants to go first? If anybody's having a problem with Facebook Marketplace ads, if you're on your computer, I want to review your ads, and I want us to review them as a group call and see what everybody thinks of them and see how we can make them better.
I don't really run them, so you can pass. You can pass. I haven't ran ads in probably a month.
What?
So,
How come?
yeah, just because I just get enough business that I have what I can keep up with. Really, I've been doing more mail-ins, and yeah, you'd be surprised how many people just message me and they just know me from word of mouth. I just picked up 8 Plus and an XS Max that the guy drove an hour away to come meet me just because he's heard such good things about me. And I don't know. It's not that my ads weren't unsuccessful. It's just I have as much business as I can handle with the
Just based
capital I
on
have.
capital, I suppose, and stuff. It can sometimes it
Yeah.
can be crazy. I mean, I've got like other stuff going on, obviously real estate, rentals, whatever. But there's sometimes where somebody will message me and they've got like 15 phones, and I'm like, I'm maxing out all my credit cards, getting money, just pulling out, getting cash advances. So it can definitely happen.
Is that actually I've kind of thought about that. Is that like a good thing to do? I assume you just ship a phone to a buyer pretty quick and then pay off the card right away. Is that what you do with that? The cash advances and all that?
Oh, well, basically, yeah. I'll just pull out cash to buy the phones and then just ship them out. As soon as I get paid, just pay the card off. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. I think I might look into that, just get a little extra capital.
Yep, it's easy capital. I mean, it's kind of like almost taking a small loan out every time. As long as you're good about it and you pay it off before the statement balance, then you're not going to have obviously any interest to pay. So no harm, no foul.
Yeah, yeah. The thing I kind of used to start the business was PayPal credit, because if you buy on eBay, or it might just be anywhere over $100, you don't have to pay interest, as long as you pay it off in full within 6 months, which is just ridiculous. So every 6 months I pay it off, and I just go use the money again right away, and
For sure. Well, yeah, well, I'll show you guys one of my marketplace ads, I guess, that I recently posted that's been working good. And I guess you guys could all copy it if you want, for anybody out there that wants to do Facebook Marketplace. So you guys can actually, I'll throw this picture up in the group when I do the group chat replay tonight, but this ad's been working really good for me. Let's see here. Just going to pull up my Facebook Marketplace so I can show you guys. Actually got 44 leads out of it. It's actually a really high converting ad. So a lot of Facebook Marketplace ads, I mean, you'll get, thousands of views, but then you only end up getting 20 messages, which obviously it's good, but it's really not all that great. So what we're going to do is I'm going to share my screen, show you guys this Facebook Marketplace ad, and you guys can copy this. It's actually a really simple ad, but it's been working really well. I don't know why, but I'm also going to show some of my Facebook Marketplace ads that got flagged eventually. So this right here, this ad was posted when I was down in Arizona, and this was basically a ad that basically showed people that I had Apple TVs for sale, but what it actually was is it was actually basically a decoy ad. You can see it was posted in Phoenix, and what I did is I marketed it like I actually had Apple TVs for sale, but then in the ad I put my business card. This stuck up for a long time. The only reason why this ad is flagged is because I stopped responding to people in Arizona because it just got to be too much once I flew back to Wisconsin. But if you guys post your marketplace ads like this, you don't have to do any kind of fancy wording. You don't have to hide anything because it literally shows that you're trying to sell Apple TVs. Cool thing about this ad is I actually did have these Apple TVs on hand, and I actually could sell them for $150. However, while there was people messaging me asking to buy them, there was also people who saw my business card down here, which says Mr. Buybacks, we buy and sell smartphones and electronics, and then my phone number down there, and then obviously the cash. So really it was a pretty good ad. As you can see here, I don't know, I got like 11 leads off it, but I was only down in Arizona for, I don't know, I think like 4 or 5 business days. So that was one of them. This was one that was unsuccessful, as you can see. This one only got viewed by 7 people. Got 1 lead, and then it got flagged by Facebook. This is probably one of my more successful Facebook ads. This is one where basically we take a brand new phone, list it up, throw it up for a really low price like it's for sale, and then people freak out, think that it's for sale, and then when they message, you convert them into leads. This is another Facebook Marketplace ad that was pretty successful. Basically kind of same thing as I just put iPhone 6, iPhone 7, iPhone 8, and then in the photo just put like a picture of an iPhone that looks like it's for sale. And then in the description, put, paying cash emoji for most smartphone emojis and iPads. Got viewed by 1,600 people. So those are pretty good. This is one that I just posted that's been performing really well. This is obviously another marketplace ad. The title, I put cash for smartphones, and for the A in cash, I used an @ sign or the email sign. And then for smartphones, and then right here, we've got a 0. And then at the end of phones, I used a $sign. I put $500. It's been viewed by only 337 people, but I've actually got 44 leads from it. I haven't responded to these guys yet just because I was out of town for 4th of July and stuff, and I'll get back to them. But the point is, there's 44 good leads that got generated from this, and only 337 people saw it. Like I said, I'm not from the biggest town. This is the phone that this is the picture that I used. It's a smartphone that has, obviously, I pay cash for iPhone drawn on it, and it's completely destroyed. I mean, you can see this thing is completely mangled. Now, the only thing that I'm not crazy about this ad yet is some of the leads that I have responded to. People are messaging with like iPhone 6s that are completely destroyed to the point where, I mean, they're worth like $5 maybe. And so obviously I can't really offer anything for those. So that's the only one thing, just kind of like a tip for everybody out there is don't, try and mix your ads up. Don't use like this same photo for every single ad. Try and mix them up. Some ads you want to use like a new product or whatever. That way, you know, you're going to kind of get newer product leads. But when you have an ad like this, you're going to get everything. It could be new phones, could be cracked phones, and some of them could be just mangled to the point where, you know, you can't even use them. So, but this is obviously the smartphone ad basically for the week that's been performing really well for me. And then the description is just paying cash for iPhones. And then all conditions, free pickup, highest prices paid. That's it. And then the condition was used or good. So pretty easy marketplace ad there for you guys. Just probably copy that and should work pretty good for you if you guys are, you know, kind of struggling with Facebook Marketplace. So that being said, anybody here on the chat, do any of you guys have any questions or anything that's kind of been going on with you or anything that you're struggling with?
I do have a question about your Facebook Marketplace ads.
Sure.
Do you use like your main personal account to post those?
So my main personal account, I use it very lightly to post on Facebook Marketplace just because I use Marketplace to post a lot of personal stuff too, so I don't want to get banned from Marketplace. But I do have an alt account that I also use to post on Marketplace where I get a little more risky, I guess you could say. Like me playing Facebook Marketplace, the safe zone is like maybe 3 ads in a week, but then I've got this other one where I'll post 5, 6, 7 sometimes, and I just kind of go for it. So because if it gets banned, I'll just make a new one.
So how long did it take for your alt account to get Marketplace? Because I did the same thing. I used an alt account, and after a month, it got banned. And I made another one, but it doesn't even have access to Marketplace right away. And I think it normally takes like 3 months, doesn't it? So
yeah, the key basically to anybody out there watching this that, you know, needs a Marketplace account, the key is to basically get your account aged around 2 to 3 months. However, sometimes you can speed up the process with having access to Marketplace by posting more. If you post more on your account, it's possible that you are going to get Marketplace access a lot faster. Basically, how Facebook gives people Marketplace is a combination of time and a combination of people actually, you know, like the actual amount of posts that you post on your Facebook, because Facebook's trying to verify if you're a real person. So when Facebook sees that you're really active and you've also been a member for around 3-4 weeks, sometimes a month, sometimes 3 months, depending on how much you post, that's when you are going to get that Marketplace access, when Facebook basically acknowledges, the Facebook algorithms acknowledge that you are a real person. So the best thing to get Marketplace fast is to post a lot. Like even if you're posting 2-3 times a day, and I know it's kind of tedious because it's not your real account, but if you post 2 or 3 times a day, that's a big one that can help. And then another thing is you can post in Facebook groups. Make sure you join like Facebook groups with your fake profile and try and get some like social proof out of that, even if it's like listing a candle for sale or something. Just try and warm the account up basically so Facebook gives you Marketplace. Does that kind of make sense, Gunnar?
Oh,
you were muted.
Yeah, I actually muted myself. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. I was just wondering if you like use your personal account or not, because I've always been afraid to try it, but I think a lot of people kind of do it. It's just I know that if my personal account goes down, it's really gonna hurt business like bad.
Right. Yeah, so. I use it a little bit, not a ton, but yeah, I do use it a little bit. Like the one that you guys are all friends with me on Facebook, I use that a little bit, but not a lot. It's just kind of that one where basically like if I get 2 or 3 Marketplace ads that are awesome, I will leave them up and then I'll just hit renew. Like I might renew them 3 times over until they're actually done or I can't renew them anymore. Then I'll post new ones because yeah, my main account, I absolutely do not want it to get flagged or anything because it would not only hurt my business with phone flipping, but there's other stuff that I sell on Marketplace and it just wouldn't be good. So.
Yeah, I do. Whenever I list a phone for sale, I do have a little like small little paragraph that, you know, explains that I buy phones, fix them, whatever. You know, so I do get a decent amount of traction from that, I guess, but it's not really necessarily an ad per se.
Sure. Yeah, but just tread carefully if you guys are using your absolute main accounts. That's basically, you know, words to roll by, I guess. But anyways, if yeah, we're coming up here on like 7:30. If nobody else here, does anybody else have any questions, I guess, before we kind of wrap things up for this Sunday? anything. It could be advertising, phone flipping, customers, um, anything you guys want. I know everybody's probably kind of recovering from 4th of July or still celebrating. It was a smaller group chat tonight, so I know a lot of people had 4th of July plans, so it's definitely a fun day. Got to see some fireworks out on the lake, so. But Yuri says, I haven't used Marketplace in so long. Yuri, why have you not used Marketplace in so long? Just curious, because it's a really awesome advertising platform.
Oh, because this was like back in December when I stopped. So when I did use it, I would get a lot of traction from Marketplace. But I saw it was getting saturated. They were changing the algorithm, so I was still messing around with the apps, Let Go and Craigslist, and I noticed that Craigslist was giving me most of the bread and butter. So I'm like, I'm just gonna focus on Craigslist and referrals, and that's pretty much what I use. But I guess my Marketplace is open, but I haven't really focused too much on it. Oh, and also I got several flakes on Marketplace too.
Like no shows?
No commitments. Like I yeah.
Sure. Yeah, you got to be careful. Sometimes, I mean, Marketplace, in my opinion, the leads are really good, but they are kind of they're not as quality of leads as Craigslist. I would say a lot of my bigger deals honestly came from Craigslist. Kind of crazy. Or obviously, I've done some pawn shop deals before, but just be careful. Basically, just kind of I don't know, scope people out, get a feel for what kind of vibe they're throwing down exactly, and don't set yourself up to fail. Sometimes what I like to do is I will basically one of the best way to combat no-shows that I've done is I will tell people that they need to meet me at, let's just say, place A. Now, place A is actually about 2 minutes from my house. Customer doesn't know this. And the only customers that ever get to know where I live or anything like that are like repeat customers that I've done like 5-10 deals with. So here's the gig. So new customer messages me. They got an iPhone XS Max. And they say, hey, when can you meet? And I say, yeah, it's 7:30 Central Time right now. Let's meet up at 8 o'clock tonight. Can you meet me here? They say, yeah, sounds good. Okay, sweet. So I'll see you there around 8 o'clock. So 7:45 comes along, right? So we've been waiting for a little bit. And you message person, say, hey, where are you at? Just want to let you know I'm like 15 minutes out from the meeting location. So you basically play it like you're the same distance away from the customer. So the customer thinks that you are also committed to going to the sales spot or going to the meetup location. And then when it's like 7:55, just message the customer again and be like, hey, just want to let you know I'm like 5 minutes out. If the customer is still engaging at a good rate or letting you know, hey, I'm 5 minutes out, that's when you know that you're not going to have a no-show. But the nice thing is, even if you don't even follow up with the customer, when the customer gets there, the customer is going to feel exactly like you if it was a legitimate no-show. As soon as the customer gets to the meetup location and they realize you're not there, they're going to either call you or they're going to message you and say, hey, where are you? I'm here. I showed up. Like, what's up? That's when all you have to do is message and say, hey, just had to stop and get gas. I'll be there in about 2 minutes. Oh, okay, no problem. Boom. I've never, ever had to deal with a no-show since having an actual no-show and then coming up with what I just said. That was basically my way to combat all the people that, try and do the whole no-show game. I had it happen once, and then after that, sat down, went home, drew it up on my whiteboard sitting behind me, and I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do next time this happens, and I'm going to see if it works. It works every time. Key to this is not to let the customer know that, you actually live 2 minutes away from where you're meeting up. Ever thought about that, Yuri?
Yes, but this one was actually close to where I live at, so like 10 blocks away from where I live at, and it was an outreach, I guess. I've been doing outreach instead, like they post something online.
Sure. You've been trying to reach out to people and then give them offers.
So this guy was like, oh yeah, he was selling a essential phone, send him an offer, and then I got a no-show.
Oh yeah. Yeah, me personally, I won't even meet up unless it's a repeat customer. I won't even meet people 30 minutes away. I won't even meet people 10 minutes away. Like if I were to be able to take my camera and walk out this door, right across the street, because my property is actually zoned commercial and residential. There's literally a mall strip right outside my house. There's a McDonald's, there's a Dunkin' Donuts, there's an auto parts. and I literally just tell them, meet me at McDonald's. So literally I can walk, and then I can walk into my front yard and I can look at the McDonald's parking lot. And if I don't see them there, then I just walk back inside. So it's no harm, no foul. So my suggestion to anybody here on chat or anybody watching this, find a location that's extremely close to your house, even if it's a gas station down the street. Obviously, if you're meeting up at night, maybe a gas station isn't the safest place because they're dimly lit. Maybe they're not open 24/7. But if it's during the day, have them meet you as close as possible. I mean, there's no reason not to. You might as well drive as least as possible. And if the person says your location is really far away, just offer them like a $10 gas gift card. That was my original idea like 2 years ago. A lot of people were saying they were having problems getting people to come to them. Well, all you have to do is just offer them a gas card, compensate them for their time a little bit. So, because either way, you're going to spend the money. So
I used to do that too, offer the $10.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, you gotta sometimes leverage. Sometimes you guys gotta use your money to, basically leverage your time and get leverage over the deal. Even if it's basically equals out in the end, make the customer feel like they're getting the better end of the deal. They're getting paid to come to you, and they're getting cash for their phone. They're getting a gas card. They're getting cash for the phone. They're going home happy. So it's always good to try and make the customers feel like they have a positive interaction with you, because sometimes people are selling their phones. Maybe they don't really want to, but they're forced to sell it because they need cash. But go ahead, Gunnar.
I personally, I used to drive like 3,000 miles a month, and like 1,800 that was just for business. And I mean, I didn't deal with, I probably dealt with like one no-show a month, but it just, the thing that I don't think a lot of people realize is how good of a tax write-off you get for every mile you drive. Like, your gas is 100% free with the tax write-off.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So like I hate it. I hate it when I drive like 45 minutes and it's a no-show. But it's honestly only happened like 4 or 5 times to me maybe. And what I do now is I straight up tell them, I say, if I'm like 15 minutes into my drive and you're not responding, I'm gonna turn around and go back home. And that almost always weeds out the no-shows.
Yep. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That's not a bad protocol. Like I was saying earlier when I was kind of explaining it, even if you're working them your way, that's kind of the thing to look for. If they're not responding to you after 10, 15 minutes after agreeing to a price, chances are they're going to be a no-show, or, something's going to be wrong with the deal. That's just kind of how it is. I personally think, because obviously you're in Green Bay, Wisconsin, right, Gunnar?
Yes, I am.
I think a lot of people like in Wisconsin, it's just kind of a down-to-earth place, I guess, in my opinion. Maybe it's different in Milwaukee and Madison, the cities, but in these smaller towns like Eau Claire, Green Bay, I think a lot of people are down-to-earth around here. And me personally, I haven't really had a lot of notions.
Yeah, I just cut off and I came back.
Oh, sure.
That's what you said.
I just said, I think it's a Midwest thing. Like me personally, even though I came up with what I just said, I kind of came up with that system for no-shows. I haven't really had that many. I mean, I've had maybe a couple, like every year. It doesn't happen very often because most people want cash, but I could see where it could be a problem for people like in California, San Diego. I mean, you've got all kinds of different people out there, and you never know how they are. But I think here in the Midwest, like usually people's word is pretty decent. It's pretty halfway decent anyways. So
not in New York.
Well, there you go. Like New York, like when
that's a fair point because
I think of New York, I think of like the Bronx, New York, and I just think of like sketchiness. Like when I go into Eau Claire, just like driving around, I don't get any sketchy vibes or anything. It's just kind of like small hometown, whatever. So, I mean, it's got its perks and it's obviously got its cons too. It's got its drawbacks, but I don't think too many.
I mean, I'd agree with that. When I was in Vegas, I had a lot more no-shows than I do when I'm like around, Wisconsin.
Yep. Yeah, it's just how it is. Different parts of the world.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's a 58 cent per mile tax write-off, and I mean, there's some vehicles that cost that much to run, but I don't think most vehicles really cost that much to run. So I don't see people talking about that enough, really.
No, I mean, tax write-offs, I mean, you should always be writing off your miles. If you're going to be out there driving around for phones, keep all your gas receipts. It's either miles or gas receipts, usually one or the other. Especially if you have a leased vehicle, you can usually write the whole payment off. I mean, if anybody's out there debating on buying a new vehicle, I'd say do a lease. Don't finance it outright. Lease it, because you're not going to take the depreciation bath on it, and you're basically taking only a portion of the car's value as a loan, and you get to drive a brand new car, and you have no maintenance.
You got to make sure that the mileage works for you, though, because like I said, I drive 3,000 a month, so that's like double. Well, that's like triple what a normal lease would allow you to.
That's a lot of miles. Like me personally, I mean, I guess I have more than one vehicle, but I have a 2019 sedan, and I think I put like 1,000 miles a month on it. The sedan is basically like my phone flipping car. Like I usually, if I got to drive, say 40 minutes for like a repeat customer that's really good, I always take my car. I won't take my truck or my motorcycle, won't do any of that. But it's a lease, and it's like I get to write the whole payment off, so you can't really beat that.
That's awesome. It's killing me right now. I got to fly to my car now. I have to drive the truck, and it's
it adds up. I'm telling you, man. Like I thought buying a car on top of my truck and then other stuff that I got would be more expensive, but just because the car gets like 37 miles to the gallon on the highway, I think it's actually saving. Like it's making me money. Obviously picking up phones. So, but
I get 24. And my car's only like a little 4-cylinder. It's not much, but
it all adds up. Yeah, it has a turbo and stuff, so on the highway it's really good gas.
My next car is gonna have to have a turbo for the mileage.
Yep. Yeah, it's worth it. But anyways, guys, good group chat and everything. Smaller chat tonight, like I said, a lot of 4th of July people with plans. I was actually out till like 4 a.m. last night. Not really partying, just actually went fishing and just, I don't know, kind of relaxing. So I'm sure a lot of people out there are still relaxing or partying for 4th of July. So I hope everybody had an awesome 4th of July weekend. And if you guys are having a problem with Marketplace ads, just kind of do what I said in this group chat. Go copy that picture and go check it out. And I will see you guys all next Sunday at 7 p.m. Central. And thanks, everybody, for coming out.